coming to you live and direct from the beautiful Santa Monica, California. We've got some laughs, some Counter-Strike, and maybe even some chunks of death for you today. I'm joined by James Bardolph and DDK. Gentlemen, did you enjoy your lunch? Are you back? Are you full?
Yeah, we had our mains delivered to us before our starters.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
It's not ideal.
What was the starter?
Chili turkey soup.
Still feeling it.
Mine was Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Brussels
but
sprouts.
You know what? He said he was going to take it off the menu. I'm not sure that he did, because it was like $35.
Well, we'll get on the blower after this, mate.
As well.
Yeah.
So I'll do the maths about it and find out if he actually was true to his word.
Dan, got a special treat for you, some social media plugs you need to get out there. You're nice. Involved in the conversation. DDK is going to tell you how.
Absolutely, you can hit us up at ECS. We have, of course, well, we're usually pretty good with community interactions. If you send any tweets towards us or anything with the hashtag
we are
ECS
very interactive.
S6, ECS Season 6, then
very interactive.
Hopefully we'll get involved in the conversation. James, really, it's just all about him, isn't it, this show?
You guys nailed it.
Plug in and interact.
It's not difficult at all. It's like not like herding cats or anything. Anyway, we have got two regions. It's the North American division. We looked at Europe earlier, and we're going to look at the teams involved in the North American section right now. Let's have a look at the big names here. There we go. Cloud9, team in turmoil right now. Once the major champions, the core, looking at 6s and 7s right now. Rogue, an interesting team, up and down, looked okay yesterday. Team Liquid, obviously one of the heavy favourites going forward. Luminosity, hard-hitting Brazilians. NRG, another favourite there. E-United, we are kind of up and down with in terms of their performance. They were actually pretty decent. Renegades, I need to see more from them in this current roster. I'm not looking too excited about it. Complexity, probably the third favourite going forward into this one. And the teams I want to talk about the most, maybe Azio, the new addition, qualified for the North American region, and obviously MIBR, up and down success right now, but mainly on an upward trajectory. Are you cool, James?
Oh, it's
okay, no, it's nice. I love it. It's really not distracting at all. But anyway, we're going to have the schedule of the day.
I gave you a day, Henry.
Luminosity versus Rogue. Initial thoughts on that one, Dan?
Oh, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Rogue didn't look too bad at all things considered. You know, Crystal in the mix there. KDN has left the lineup. They still look pretty punchy. You could see that there was some definite sort of... It was difficult. You know, you lose your in-game leader. It's always going to be a bit awkward to begin with.
Sure.
But the thing is, Luminosity, the Brazilian contingent, a lot of firepower. They've been together with this lineup for quite some time. They are very scary.
And James, Azio, do you have much information on them? Team Liquid,
I can tell
presumably
you
the heavy
plays for them.
Yeah.
They've got Frost AK,
okay.
Snakes, Grim, and Infinite, whose profile pictures are Dignitas, so there must be ex-Dignitas. And Voltage, who I believe I have heard from
some of those names ring a bell from me casting way back when. It's in the online Counter-Strike doldrums a few years ago. But I'm sure they're a decent team. They've made it this far and got into ECS Season 6. I'm sure they've got some hard-hitting players and some interesting strategies and maybe some innovations.
I don't know how much we're going to see of it if they're up against Team Liquid.
Well, that's obviously the rough start. That's for like the wild card you don't really want to draw.
It's a good start. You get it out of the way with.
But we also got some tickets coming up for the big event. There's going to be the Esports Stadium, November 22nd to 25th. It's just a weekend, I believe, the Saturday and Sunday of that weekend. But look at it, Arlington. This is a new project. That's obviously a concept picture, but apparently it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Corey Dunn works there.
He does. I found that out.
He tweeted us.
Yeah, he did.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either. He's a very talented man. And
he wasn't in the CGI.
If he's involved, it'll be great. He does a good job on most stuff, I think, at least. So get your tickets,
guys.
He's
got a little baby now.
He does. He's a family man.
Baby.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of Corey Dunn, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's just been there forever.
He has.
As a commentator, as a producer, director, just all sorts. It's always good to see him in the mix.
Old school.
Yeah, absolutely. He should be there in esports. As it grows, he should always be there.
And now it's that wonderful time we get to talk about life. So, Brussels sprouts.
This is the worst part.
They were miso glazed. The guy asked me what I thought of them. I said, like, normally Brussels sprouts in North America, are crispy. And the crispy ones are better, and it's like it just makes it kind of wet, and it's not really...
I'm on my North American diet right now, so I have like a light breakfast, then I starve myself all day, and then I can have like chicken and waffles in the evening.
But you told me earlier that you had a massive breakfast.
Today was a breakfast burrito.
That's literally the opposite, Henry.
I had a breakfast burrito, which was larger than anticipated.
Starved myself with a burrito.
I didn't.
Okay, it's a good start.
Didn't eat the whole thing. All right, I made sure there's a quarter left. Didn't throw it away, saved it for later.
Definitely will eat it later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's the way I feel to operate here. The portions are way too big in America. For our English stomachs, I don't think it's possible to eat all the main meals they serve. So I give myself one meal in the evening, and that's about it. But that's enough about food. We've got a game to talk about, which I'm sure we'll be starting momentarily. Dan, you talked about Rogue. We saw them yesterday. Do you believe they have what it takes at this point to even do well in this league?
I do think it's actually it has a lot of potential to be a close matchup. I think that it's very difficult against Luminosity because they're a team where there's going to be less indecision. They're used to playing with each other. They have a lot of very strong players.
Yeah.
You have Nekis that sort of came up as one of the newer players in the Brazilian scene. Managed to kind of keep his spot on Luminosity. You got Henny, Lucas, twins there. Obviously, very routines, very drilled players. Henny can deliver a lot from the explosive factors. You've got Steel in there as the leader, very experienced at this point. It's a pretty complete unit. I feel like we should see something pretty big from this team in the next 6 months.
This table's too busy. I kind of want.
Yeah, the Ramen's killing it for me, to be honest. I don't think that needs to be there.
Should I cook it for you during the game?
That would be great.
Mid-game ramen.
This is the second day in a row where you've just been insisting on ramen being cooked.
Well, James, he just said he had a very light breakfast. I feel sorry for him. He's got to do this broadcast.
We haven't even established if you are capable of boiling food yet.
Can you do that, Dan?
James, you are the last person to critique anybody in the kitchen.
Guys, we don't need this right now. Okay. Let's hold it together. We can have the little argument after this, okay? Ramen will be cooked at some point, I'm sure, at this broadcast. At some point in the 20 days we're going to make sure the ramen's cooked, and we'll have a great time with it, I'm sure. We still have forfeits to deliver, remember. I am going to do a little bit of a prediction one for this. I like the firepower Luminosity are bringing. I wasn't too convinced with the team play, but Luminosity, for you, do you feel like they can overcome Rogue today?
Team play is most certainly their weakest point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think firepower can take them over the line at this level of Counter-Strike.
It's a lot of firepower, isn't it? Like, I always say Brazilian flair when I watch teams like this because they're so flashy, some of the players. They just go for the aim duels, the orbitals just pushing through smokes and everything like that.
Was it Cash we saw them on yesterday?
Yes, it was.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I thought the CT side, it was against Liquid, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think against Liquid, the T side was always going to be lacking. Here, there's more space for them to do things. So I expect that we'll see a better game from them.
Liquid are so good right now. We've kind of compared to like a mini Astralis, right? They're so good at the HE usage, and getting map control at the start of each round is so stifling for a T side, especially when you've got aggressive CTs coming towards you. I don't think Rogue will be that efficient. They've definitely got firepower there as well, but we saw them yesterday. They definitely had some like really disastrous moments against the United and stuff. It was kind of a little bit of a scary game, but overall, I think this will be good. I think we'll have two very competitive maps. I've forgotten what they are right now.
Cash and Mirage.
Cash and Mirage. There we go. Cash is always going to be in the North American side of things. It's kind of interesting. We cast the European. We'll never see that map, but North Americans seem to love this.
Yeah, and funny, I was looking at Mirage as well, and if you remember when new Mirage came out, for the longest time, North America was still playing the old Mirage. Remember the old school Mirage with the really high FPS?
Yes, that was actually wasn't it?
Yeah. For a very long time. So when
the canopy in it, right?
Yeah. So when they were going to international lands, they were playing a different Mirage altogether. But obviously, there wasn't. I would say Counter-Strike wasn't as international as it is now.
Definitely not.
It's as global as it has ever been, right?
Yeah, well, international teams weren't even possible back in the day. You couldn't even consider that because internet difficulties. There's no money to travel and actually get someone in that country.
Like intercontinental teams going to different lands and so on. It didn't happen as much as they were just busy doing their own thing. It's
still the most hype FPS after 20 years. Everyone's still loving it. Everyone's still killing it, and we're getting bigger and bigger.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
I think if you look at the titles which are out now. Excluding StarCraft and excluding, like the big titles, right? The current big titles. I think Counter-Strike is closest to skill the game, right?
Wasn't there a stat on Twitch was like that was the most viewed game
this
on
year,
Twitch last year?
Yeah.
Which is incredible because we're always thinking, oh god, it's falling off a cliff. No one's watching anymore.
No, we don't think that. It's just the plebs on,
the problem
vocal minority
we
posting.
Could be doing so much more. Not we specifically, but in terms of like
specifically you.
There could be more resources given by the game developer. That's the main problem. They could help us out and help us evolve. And we're not looking for a revolution. We're just looking to anything that will just help us keep people interested. I don't think there's a compelling reason to keep playing matchmaking right now. There's nothing. There's no rewards. Global Elite's not that difficult to get.
Play on FACEIT, FACEIT.com.
Well, exactly. That's why this brilliant service exists, because Valve aren't doing enough, and this is why this capitalize me and make our own thing.
Also, from like the pro scene, it'd be so good if you could just have the major the same day, just a month. Like 2 of them a year, 2 seasons a year.
Yeah.
Off season for a month. Right after the major. Transfer window.
The major?
Everything up until the major. You don't just scrap the minors. You have regional tournaments that will add points so
that
regionally
explain why you want
qualify.
The break after the major? I know why. Maybe the people at home don't.
Just because it needs to be the end of the season. Everyone's warm. Everyone's just preparing basically to playing tournaments. Everyone's warming up for that massive point. And if you have a break right before the biggest tournament, obviously it's just going to be weird. It's going to create more variance. You won't be able to see as as best who is actually the best team.
Do you feel like it impacted the level of play at the London Major? Or some of the results, perhaps?
I think it's really difficult to say in many respects, because there is like an ebb and flow when it comes to... But this isn't another issue, isn't it? It's like transfer windows. Like, because there's there's a lacking in the consistency factor when it comes to where tournaments are, what's coming up, and also from an organization perspective, you want to fly your teams to every single tournament you possibly can. So there is this weird, there's like multiple incentives. The major is not the main incentive, so you might want to change players just to get a lineup that's more fresh in a burnt out lineup. I think we saw it happen with Mouse Sports, honestly. I think they're a prime example of that. Yes. Team that could have been a lot better with a break, but they're burnt out. What's the solution?
I don't think that's because of the major, though. I think that's just their own team choices.
Oh yeah, it's just one extra thing on the side, isn't it? It's just because if you look at what's your interpretation here, Henry? Like what? Because it just feels random, doesn't it?
I think the player break is too long though, because right now the player break is like a whole month, right? Yeah. But after 2 weeks, people are kind of done with holiday. You don't need a month of holiday.
That's exactly my stats.
You think so as well?
So the fact that people are going on month holidays, like who needs a month holiday? For goodness sake, like take 2 weeks, sure, but then come back and use that time to practice. You're always complaining you don't have the practice available to you. You're always traveling. That's 2 weeks prime where you can have a chilled schedule, right? You start like early afternoon, finish early evening, get like 5 hours under your belt, theory, a couple of games, just kind of evolve your strategies, and then that's how you should be using the time. The teams that go away, like go to, I don't know, Mauritius for 3.5 weeks, they come back and they realize, oh, I don't really know how I'm going to play at a major right now.
How do I throw the smoke again?
Yeah, like that's a massive issue for me. I just don't know why that's allowed to be a thing. I remember, I'm not throwing them under the bus, they still came second or whatever, but Na'Vi, after the break, they announced that, we haven't played at all in the break. We only played like 1 day before it finished, just to kind of warm ourselves up for DreamHack Masters at that point. And it was like, that's so weird to me. Like, there's so much on the line. You've got the major after DreamHack. You can't use a big event as your boot camp. Like, that's not the way it should be. They should be focusing on winning every single event, not warming up back into the game.
Also, like contracts, sort of. I feel like the contracts are a bit random, like when they will expire, like when players will be open for transfer, then you get like these really crazy fees. It's like, it just seems a bit too Wild West.
It really does. Everything. It seems like there's not enough information available as to how long a contract is. Normally in all traditional sports, right, we know how much the contract is worth, when it's going to end, and how long this club have got them for. It's supposed to be like a celebrated thing, right? It's a big deal. It's exciting. But we're like very quiet about it. We're not sure how long they're locked in for this deal for. I don't think anyone really knows like how long Simple's in there for Na'Vi. No one has his buyout.
I think that's more down to like player union and follow these instructions when you do this, but yeah, that's a different thing. But
that's very new right now too. That should be hopefully on the way to a solution.
Yeah,
hopefully.
But I think it's weird because I think that's going to catch the players who are already playing in top flight Counter-Strike, but somebody who's coming up the ranks and gets picked up, like let's say through FPL in some team. I think they're always going to get to a contract before they're going to get to that union. So it will help the players at the top, but I think everybody who's coming up is going to get caught.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're just going with that first contract, right? I guess Smooya would be a good example of this. Like, just sign for Epsilon straight away. As soon as he got that first contract available to him, turned out to be a pretty raw deal. Didn't really have much in terms of finances coming his way, and it's just put a buyout on him, which has been Epsilon business for the last 2 years. Get some good players locked in and then sell them off. They did that with a lot of Swedish players. And Smooya gets this blowout sort of a performance. Everyone's excited about him. And then it's like, oh, he's stuck in this contract until he can actually get out of there. We're kind of stuck with this Swedish lineup.
Wasn't it like similar with Nico as well, originally as well? Like he was in a locked into a contract for a long time in Mouse Sports.
Would it be Mouse Sports? I can't remember the specifics of that. But yeah, like there's just things like that. I feel like, it might sound controversial to say, I feel like CSGO contracts should be 1 year only. And it's a rolling contract in terms of like you consider the outcome at the end of that and you discuss it in that player break. That would make sense. You have that the contract roll up to the player break and you have your discussions then, work out what's going on. Because CSGO is so fast paced and so many moving parts there. 2 years, it seems like that's a lifetime in esports.
And that's like
right?
that's just like the ignorance, I think, on like the player side, which is where hopefully the union can start. Because it's a negotiation process, isn't it?
I guess it's stability for an up and coming player. But if you're like Olof Meister, for example, then 1 year versus 2 years, it's like, okay, it's signed for 2 years, but plus 40% salary.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's the problem because you don't know how much money will come in the game next year. You don't know what TV deals will come in and massive sponsors. If you're locked in this contract, you can't even be part of this new exciting project. Like, say, Never Really came along or something like that, and you can't be part of it because your contract. You'd be a little bit gutted, right? I feel like esports is just too fast-paced for the current setup we have, which, like you said, is a Wild West. No one really knows what goes on behind the scenes. But hopefully, with the player union coming up, we'll be kind of sorting things out, and hopefully that will develop. I have to say, we've got 10 players on the server, so hopefully we'll be joining very quickly. welcome back. That was just the podcast section of the show. And we've got the knife
about
fight.
the whole thing as a podcast.
I know, but I'd like to make sure there's a narrative at least. We are going to be doing some Counter-Strike eventually.
Yeah, but we didn't have any shoes in there, so that was really weird.
We didn't actually have any shoes or keyboards.
I've got shoes right here. I've got shoes.
No, we didn't have the James camera.
We
I don't know if we haven't really had that all day.
This camera didn't come into play.
There are these ones as well.
Go on James cam, let's have a look.
There are these ones as well, right? These are, let me move this coffee out of the way.
There it is.
I think these are called the New Love.
Bumblebee
they were released
shoes?
in 2017, very Wu-Tang. But these are awesome. Look at that. That's gangster. This is
could never
my
pull
second
those
pair.
off.
This pair only stays in America. It just stays in the studio. I've got a pair in London as well.
Oh, these are just decorative shoes.
Well, no, I will use them, but I like these so much that I wanted to buy 2 pairs of them.
Sure.
To make sure that I have them for a very, very long time because they are so godlike.
Dan, can you pull those off?
The contrast with black
definitely can't
jeans.
pull Definitely not.
The contrast with black jeans is insane with these.
That's pretty cool. I only buy like white trainers. That's all I can really pull off. That's about it. But Dan, thoughts? You're wearing shoes today, I noticed.
Yeah.
Can we put them on James cam? Can we put them in there and have a look?
No, it wouldn't be the same. I feel like that's reserved for James.
So these ones are ones that Henry wants.
I do want those.
I can hook you up, man.
Dude, I saw the one on the StockX thing. I just forgot about it. I forgot to set a reminder, I think. I did.
Look, even the little lace on the side, it even says there. It says like Supreme or
That's
whatever.
Nice.
Which I just noticed at lunch.
But what happened to your shoes?
It's a really
Henry?
nice shoe.
You got the toes out.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. We're into the game anyway. So it's going to be Luminosity versus Rogue here, of course. We're into the action. It's going to be 2 maps, home and away, of course. Each contribute differently to the league. It will be a B-sided approach here. All 5 players, and Hiko to defend. Not getting the initial Poo 2000 kill though, but there it is. Nicely does it. He's going to get a couple. Eventually taken down. It's up to Ricky now to defend.
He was pretty close to the 3rd one there as well. But he didn't get it. Man like Ricky back on the AWP, but not in this round. Nekker's taken out. That's the bomb committed to the bomb site now. Looks like he was left on his own. People entertaining players elsewhere. Now, when will they start to look behind them? Because Henny is on the flank, but he better move a little faster. Being peeked by 1 player. Now, where is Steel? That's a question.
Yeah, I thought Henny would be the only hope here, causing some distraction, but there's so many players going to rush him down. And that's the GG for Steel in this round.
Where's the coordination between these 2 guys?
And he'll make his way in. Well, Henny did create distraction, then Steel went out, but I think Henny felt too pinned down and didn't want to commit to the fight, so I think that's what happened there. But look at this. It's a dink. That's nice. This is always possible in the pistol round. 40 seconds to work these headshots.
He's got a run 2 headshot. I mean, well, it's easy for me to say because I can see all the information. But actually, in fairness, he doesn't know where the 3rd player is. He knows where 2 of the players are. The other player could be headshot, could be above him, could be underneath the platform, could be anywhere. So,
well, there it is. Hiko getting it done. I love the P2000. For those sort of moments, it's a little bit more efficient close range, I find. Got the extra bullet as well. And it will be Ricky to close things out there. Luminosity get no bomb plant in. There'll be Deagles and CZ. They've got a couple of smokes. Actually, not bad at all. They go towards A. And I'm actually going to get a boost going, I believe. Let's see if they want to do that. The incendiary's being thrown. Looking at the setup for Rogue. No M4s. It's kind of strange to see that. A couple of FAMASs. The MP5's out as well. And the Scout. We're seeing more and more of that weapon as Nekis goes for the opening kill towards middle here. Spots 1. Well, he going to have a chance to blow off the head of the player waiting on the other side. Doesn't look like it just yet.
Yesterday we saw a Molotov. You saw the one, Ricky threw a normal one, but we saw a sideways Molotov, which deploys a little faster.
I saw that as well.
And I feel like if you're a guy in CT who is smoking mid and throwing Molotov as well, you have such limited time to do that if they go for a fast boost. It's so scary that the sideways throw is definitely one to learn, because those even half seconds are very precious in that situation.
Now Luminosity deciding just to go for that B push. Mid has failed. They took a lot of damage, they lost the player. Now they move in towards B, where there are 2 players. Rotation comes in. There's not really all that much it would seem that Luminosity can achieve at this point. Get a quick kill there, but Crystal, ooh, okay. Well, I would have expected a frag from him, and as I've said that, now the frags start to rain in. The Deagle headshots are doing some damage, and now it's just Vice and 1v3. What the hell's going on, Henry?
He can do this, though. I'm kind of believing. The low HP on 2, the bomb goes down. If he can just isolate one of the players, he might have a chance. The close range weaponry in hand. There's the first. Looks for the second. He knows Nekis is on the site. There's the 2 kills, boys. The MP5 looking very good. This is actually sick. He can go for the defuse here. Oh, he's burning. It's going to be Steel now, trying to do what he can. The defuse will come through, and he has to hope that he's not going for it now. Steel plays it very well, hoping that he's not on the bomb. The chase comes through, but Vice might have done enough here. Has he got the kid? Indeed he has. And boys, that's a 3 versus 1 victory for your boy Vice. That was incredibly well played. You could see what he was thinking as he was going through that. Luckily, he had the incendiary, shut down Steel. He did play it well, to be fair. He did everything he could, all things considered, but not quite enough there. Luminosity will give that round away. A frustrating one at that.
The incendiary went too deep as well, right? Like it seemed like Steel
No,
could
it was
still
fine.
peek.
It's like you denied access because he was so low. He had to like just hope that he wasn't going for the full defuse. That's all he could really do is dance around with footsteps, challenging.
He shot him in the head, didn't he?
Sorry?
He shot it, I think he shot him in the head with the MP5.
Yeah, he still did damage at the start. Yeah, but like,
I think he dinked him. So I'm thinking like maybe there's a world where he just holds it.
Yeah.
Because he knows he stands in the flames. I mean, he might. Well, it's unlikely, I think, at that point. But
yeah, he still had enough time though. It was all good.
Yeah, he took a safer decision for sure. And the force buyers continue here for Luminosity.
Yeah, this is because they got it down to the 1v1 before. They're realizing they can actually get AKs out with the bomb plant down. It's certainly not ideal, but not the worst situation. I think Nekis had to drop onto the AKs. That's when he has the Beagle and a little bit of utility there. But
it's a pretty good situation, all things considered.
It's not too bad, is it?
Yeah. They've got enough utility to do something here.
We've got the Inferno music playing outside.
Yeah, I'm about to send that off.
Ah, it's nice though. It's like the T-spawn of Inferno.
James
gone now.
James just kills them.
There's a door stop, James. Sorry. Back to the action. Looked like he was about to break a door, so I had to just make sure that was fine. It was going to be 3-on-3 now. Hiko defending that B site. And here he comes, holding towards that shot. This is a huge round here. Luminosity can pull this one off. It'll be absolutely everything. This kill might decide it. Hiko picks it up, and up to Henny now on the 3 versus 1. He's got the rifle and 41 HP, but he's fully flashed. And he has got the bomb, to be fair. He might be able to book it towards the A side and get another plant down and able to buy with a loss bonus. We'll see if that's even possible. Makes his way towards Highway. Can't really afford to be sneaky here. Has to make noise and just get towards the bomb side and hope he can beat them there. But the CT's already ready to go. How is he not dead? He might get this kill, you know. Not quite. Hiko will take him down eventually. 3-0 and a massive advantage now for Rogue.
You almost want to see him get the kill so he gets the plant and you get that 1v2.
Yeah.
Because it's like so fun sometimes when a player has low HP and they're in that 1v2 after plant. But MP5 doing some damage. Pretty chaotic rounds, all of these.
Yeah, but the fact that Luminosity now have taken eco, this is a huge advantage for Rogue. They get another 32-50 presumably on top of this round, so they're going to be financially secure. That's if they don't give away any Deagle frags, which are very prevalent on Cash. It's probably the most interesting map for long-range Deagle duels. You can have plenty of little gaps and angles. Good nade, though. Didn't do as much as I thought. But they are going to run into the Lion's Den here.
The bait set up. That should be enough for the most part. Looking for Steel now with his big-ass bayonet. Smoked off from his position. I saw some 100 Thieves stickers on these Luminosity players. I don't know if that brand actually played a match.
No, they didn't.
They got to the minor, didn't they? But they didn't turn up or something. Their stickers came out.
All the madness happened.
They got their stickers came out, but they didn't actually make it to the actual event, I think. So
I don't think they played the match.
Pretty cool though. 100 Thieves, did they ever come back into CS? So they say, you know what, that's enough for us.
I think they were like, you know what?
That's enough.
Yeah, I think they need to wait for all this stigma to leave the brand and then maybe come in next year or something.
It's a shame.
I would hope anyway. I don't know.
I think that's a cool brand. That's
yeah.
I would like to have more COD organizers to come in. Always welcome.
Love a bit of COD.
Yeah.
I've only played the one player in Call of Duty.
I've played a lot of Call of Duty in my time.
I don't play the online. Anyway, Luminosity are focusing on the A sites here, and look at Rogue. They're looking to boost in the mid position, and they've got 3 on A. So it seems they maybe have a hard read as to what is going on here. Boosting up the MP9 player. Henny. Ooh, will he try to punish Ricky? You don't know if there's more than one player down there, though, but he will try to punish. That's the bomb, no less. But he will settle for that one, moves away, sees one player lurking outside B. What does that tell them? Does still go all the way for this push because, of course, there is another player lurking, the booster. And that is 2 down for Luminosity with no answer.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that Rogue, Ricky is quite disciplined, just falls back straight away after that kill. Serves as a strong bait. Now it's desperation for Luminosity. They've got less than a minute and no ground gained on the map so far. So at this point, your options really suck. They've got a smoke and a flashbang. And so it's just the case of maybe, you've bounced the smoke to try to cover the cross. get that smoke between the toxic barrels and the red container. Make your way into the A bomb site. Just hope for the best. Get some headshots. You can see Yell is as that's been left clear so far. Still a smoke on Neckers.
That is most certainly being heard by the players on the site as well. They have such advantages, but to let them come to. Another one lost for Luminosity. 2 players remain. Bomb on the floor.
Ooh,
CT on the site, and look at the time here. Such desperate plays. 2 CTs on the site, in fact. And that will be that. Only 1 player taken down. It has been an uninspired half for Luminosity so far. Hiko's got $10,000.
High rolling as usual.
And that's the problem when you go down to like a 3 versus 5, and especially when you don't have too much utility, and you haven't gained any positioning for it. And that's what happens when you see. I mean, this used to be an issue with teams who would prioritize picking too much. You can go for that first pick, but as soon as you lose that first player, and you've got no map control, you've got to go and focus on the map control. Otherwise, you're just left with a situation like that. A good CT side will get all the information.
And Rogue looking pretty decent today, I have to say.
Yeah.
Not giving much away, are they? This will be a little B execution. See, they're focusing on the Molotovs. They've got 3 of those right now. It will be a Molotov attack. There's no one on the side to receive. It doesn't actually do too much for them at all. Just waste it, really. But it does, I guess, eradicate some risk. But Hiko's going to ravish them here. This is a great spot for him. If he can get a flash from a teammate especially, they'll go through. The flash from them is great. They don't check the position, though. They're going to make their way towards the B site. I feel like Hiko still will find a couple of frags. He doesn't quite stick the landing on the spray. Surely just 1, but he recovers. It's a 3 versus 3, but Henny's on 1 HP. He's still alive and kicking, and he's the last of Luminosity there. And Hiko somehow survives. I have no idea how.
He's warmed up.
Yeah, he's looking decent, isn't he?
The 100 Thieves foil sticker is $48 on the Steam market at the moment.
Is that a lot? Doesn't sound like a lot.
$48, I'd say so.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I think, I mean, you have to wonder if it's going to be, because it's almost, for the time being, almost kind of like iBuyPower status.
That's what I thought. I thought the iBuyPower ones were like hundreds of dollars.
Oh, no, those are thousands.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Thousands.
Multiple thousands, absolutely.
Multiple thousands.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Before all that ban stuff happened, I bought one and put it on my Hot Rod org.
So you still have that?
So I was like, yeah.
Oh, nice. Dude, that removes the value completely, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someone would buy it for more, but it wouldn't be the value of the sticker alone. I really wanted another one. I wasn't going to pay that much for it, but I would have paid like £400 or something.
Fair enough. Contraband now.
Couldn't persuade anyone though. Miss Harvey had a hoard of them.
What, the stickers?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I think she sold them and bought an island somewhere.
That's the plan for all of us, I think. An island away from all of this. That's what Chad wants to do. He's always talking about buying an island. I said, Chad, it won't be as fun as you think. You'll have no internet.
Ooh, this is a fail, isn't it? As soon as he messed up the jump, the T's can hear that, and they will be expecting. They've already got somebody boosted.
You can wallbang that too.
So maybe trouble here for these CTs. Smoke for the short position from Neckers is being deployed. Actually, I think I had a line that I learned that one from Sponge or someone on Renegades.
It's so cool to see the line on the minimap, so you can see the path of the smoke grenade on the minimap.
Neckers. Yeah, I really wonder about the sounds, but we'll come back to that. Briquet and Hiko alone now, forced to move away from the A site. I feel like Neckers didn't hear the jump sounds, but I certainly did, and I think he should have, because you would expect maybe there's 2 players there if someone's jumping for no reason.
Well, it's the first round on the board for Luminosity here. Ricky will be saving the AWP along with Hiko's AK there. They've got plenty of cash, of course, and this is going to remove the loss bonus now for Luminosity. They finish up towards the A site. It's the most efficient attempt they've had. There's 2 players towards middle. Did get destroyed. Killed 1 towards quad as well. And actually keep 4 players alive here. So yes, they're going to have reset potential now. But Henny's got the AWP, Dan. That's always a positive. You talked about it in the pre-game. What about his AWPing do you like so much?
He's just very explosive, very quick, and that makes all the difference when you're trying to push into certain locations, because you have to be reactive. You don't necessarily know 100% where the CTs will be playing from, so you need those players that can confidently push forwards, be very, very fast on the shots, because they have to perform sometimes reactively, and so that's where Henny can really shine, sort of opening up passage to those bomb sites.
Wow.
But they have to, that's 1 round on the board, that's great, but they have to be able to string some together here, and this is a perfect opportunity for Rogue to really stick it to them.
Punish. And he going for the wallbang attempt here. I don't think this will be successful. Gonna line up a more audacious one towards the highway box though. Nothing connecting just yet. Flashbang's deployed to push Ricky back. He actually dodges it quite efficiently there. And now probing towards the main entrance itself. He wants to look a little bit deeper. And there will be Nekis on the other side. And the AWP of Henny starting to come in that direction as well. This could be where the first battle takes place. Nekis has the advantage, but there's 3 players there. And Ricky will have some backup. Early advantage, but Yell looking for them on the retreat. He knows there's 3 players on that side now. If the door stays open, he might get a chance of them falling back.
This is some great ABC cash from Rogue so far.
They exit through the forklift. They got the smoke down to protect him as well. That's perfectly done, right? They're not giving anything away there.
Yeah, this is so nice. And they still hold on to the lockers control. And all that there is for Luminosity so far is middle, and Rogue know that. So with a minute left, you would start to expect with the information that Sick has in lockers, there will be B play, and here is a response. 3 players now reinforcing the B bomb site.
45 seconds, and as you can see, Rogue are just playing a reactive game, trying to ruin the timing. Luminosity playing it so slow. A man down already. It's going to be shock and awe towards this B bomb site, but the CT's are ready, although there are flames on the site, and one's been forced into the open. That's FACEIT. We've got somebody at the first barrels here. Crystal will run distraction for a second, but Hiko, can he do more? Trying to buy some time, but he can't go for the repick really. And Rogue are now out of the site. They've got no retake smoke. Six is charging through, but doesn't quite hit the mark, and that's going to be the round.
That has to be a kill for Sick there, surely.
Like he didn't counter strafe.
No,
correctly.
He didn't. So it's like counter strafing is like a clutch in a car, guys. So if you're moving to the left, you got to tap to the right, then fire, and then you can like stop yourself instantaneously. Like I guess that's like one of the most difficult things to learn. It's not very natural for a lot of people. But if you're running along, you just tap the other direction, stop, then you can keep moving after you've got your kill and keep at a decent pace. So
strafe cancel.
Yeah, that was the way I was taught it. Like the guy who taught me how to play CS, the guy I really looked up to, who went to all these CPLs and stuff like that. I was a team with him. Sorry?
Rattlesnake?
No, that was way before him.
Was it Neil M?
No, yes, it was Neil M. That's right. No, it was a dude.
Magic Capra.
He went to the first ever CPL, and he's in our team. He taught me that. He's like, took me on a name map and said, "This is like a clutch in the car," and he taught me how to do it. That's the way I've remembered it.
Who was it?
He was called Episode. He was part of Rise Gaming in the 2004 CPL.
Never heard of him.
Well, you wouldn't, because you were never anything in CS at all then.
It's because I was playing Quake, mate.
Oh!
At the top
Just
level.
a joke, Sam. Don't get sensitive. He came at me, I came back. So
I just played for fun.
Yeah.
It
stings, man. Stings.
We're all friends.
That's 1-on-1. Let's go.
Pass the antiseptic.
$100, Henry. Let's go.
$100. Work, mate, I'll do you for $1,000. How about that?
No more vinegar in the studio, please. 6-2, and both these teams are on the bye. We've got some preemptive flashbangs towards that main position. And the T's start to move it.
I'll break your clutch, Henry.
Okay, man. We've moved on from that now. I'm a mechanic. You can't break me down. I'll just repair. Anyway, we're just going to keep going. The AWP of Ricky. Do you feel like he is a stronger AWP than Henny Dan?
I think that Ricky is more versatile, generally speaking. I think he's probably better as an overall.
I think he's a better teammate.
Yeah, better
teammate.
would say.
I'd rather have Ricky on my team.
And he's definitely battle sniper.
Yes.
Very notable for running out of main on train with an AWP scoped in on his own, just going for it. Well then, we've got Lucas with some nice spray. Sick trying to reposition. Preemptive spray while they Molotov the quad and NBK position. So that's really nice. More about that later. And there is one back. Lucas would be punished for his sins. More pot shots from Ricky, but what can his team do in the meantime? There's the pop flash, but Vice did see an elbow, but it wasn't enough to do anything about this. Rogue forced away from A.
This is looking very difficult, isn't it? We've seen Hiko, and was it the Columbus? No, it was the Cologne Major doing a crazy retake, but this is just not the same scenario. On the Luminosity side of things, they're playing quite proactively here, so there's no space really for Rogue to do much here. Let's just go for that save. And well, Luminosity have done it. They've won the consecutive rounds that they need to sort of really steal things back. Although if they can't take out these weapons, there is still a lot of firepower going into the following round. A lot of chances for Rogue to make things complicated.
In the face, baby.
Won't be leading to the round victory, but they might hold on to their weaponry. 2 players surviving for Rogue. A much better approach here from Luminosity. Again, towards that. bomb site, getting it done. Will it get the final kills? No, not going to be there quite. Still plenty of money for Rogue. They've got another buy in the bag with the 2 saved weapons, of course. But Luminosity now arriving on the scoreboard, actually finding some convincing rounds here. If they have the option to hunt, you can feel them getting a little bit more comfortable at that point. So there we go, 6-3, and 3 rounds in a row, indeed, for Luminosity. But Rogue have been saving their weaponry. This will be the last of the North American cash, as Ricky will hold towards middle this time, changing his position up somewhat as he goes to the wallbangs this time.
I'd never get a headshot.
I've done it a few times on this map. That's my favorite. That's the most satisfying one to get, like straight through.
I like shooting the wall next to Squeaky and shooting someone in the head there.
That's sick. I've never pulled that one off, I will say that. It is cool watching
from the short position, like where Yell's standing. That's a nice one. Or even to the other side of the door as well. But anyway. I haven't seen somebody get sprayed down while crossing the A site like that once the Molotovs come in. It's something that you see T's try to do for CTs trying to get under the boost, for example, once the smoke is down. Or even next to the vent. But that was another one. Well then, we've got smoke behind the, Molotov behind the box. That's a Molotov for default and a smoke. So this is a full execute into the B bomb site, except it's not with the bomb. The CT starting to move away from A, but now they wait, hold on. The communication's there for Rogue. They do have 3 people towards B though, so this will be a tough hold for the CTs on A.
FACEIT actually into safety. Looked a bit dodgy for him there. He has to hold on though. Keep some positioning for his teammates. And he can try to go back to forklift maybe a little bit later. We'll see what he can do in this position. And he's working towards the B side of the map still on the rotation. So there is space, there's opportunity, but it has to be now here for Rogue as they're pushing in before Henny gets there. And White Vice will take down Steel. That's the main position smoked off. How Henny's going to have to push forwards if he wants to help his teammates out. Very awkward stuff here, but it might just work because there's not enough CTs here to really cover every single position. And there's no way they're looking at that smoke. Another frag comes in. Crystal, though, turns around. He senses it. Oh, that had to be a frag for Vice. Crystal with it all to do. That's one more.
Defuse.
Is he going to stick it, though? Is he gonna... No, it comes out. Oh, the shot's missed. Oh, so awkward. What is happening?
Oh, was he on the USP? He must have been on the USP.
He was,
yeah,
exactly.
He pull it out. That's awkward.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I think he had he must have had bullets left in the AKs. He couldn't have used every single last one for that final kill, but I guess maybe he had like 2 or 3. Let's see if we can look at it. Crystal, so he used like 10 there. So he presumably had a few left. Let's have a look. 12. No, okay, so he went down to 1, so fair play, only had the USP. So he went for it. Obviously not the most ideal weapon for that scenario, didn't find the frag. And there's Luminosity right back in this game now. 4 rounds in a row, and it's an eco for the first time for Rogue.
Nice spawn from Steel, looking for a player crossing to the white box. Nobody's there, but with that spawn, especially in a round such as this, just happy to peek into mid, and that's mid taken immediately. So that is playing his spawn quite well. Keeping an eye on the vents now as the CT starts to rotate out of the B bomb site. I think the previous round was a good lesson for people at home not to ever say it's B or it's A.
That's a good point.
You say what you see. If there are nades coming in, you say there are nades coming in.
So that game show catchphrase, say what you see.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you'll be on Mirage A and somebody will say smokes A, and you say how many smokes? It's like 1. Not even plural. Whole team rotate out of position, and everything is lost. I don't know why they're continuing to duel here with 26 HP. Edges. Don't want to give any edges away.
Oh, it's low HP there for Lucas. That was a bit dodgy. Just Hiko left. Dab hand with the 5-7. Color coordination going on there between the gloves and the 5-7 as well. And in he goes. That's going to be Hiko done for. So 5 rounds in a row for Luminosity. Straight back in it. And one more to tie it up. But the buy is there to make things difficult now for Luminosity. We've got the AWP back onto Ricky. We'll be cool to see, Sick as well, actually. Maybe he has a timing a spawn, perhaps. Must surely have a spawn. Yes, he does. Is that going to be a squeaky push, a main push?
Oh, I want squeaky, if possible, Dan.
Okay, let's see if he's going to go for it. Oh, it looks good for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So he'll be holding towards quad.
You know, when Peter used to play for NRG, I want to say?
Yep.
Sometimes he would jump up. He would jump onto the top of those barrels where Sick is standing, which I think is a really awesome off angle. But if you don't have support, it's really hard to get up there in time. And the numbers game absolutely abused by Luminosity.
Save.
And it's time to
that's
save.
An instant save now. Too much in the way of utility for the T's because it's the beginning of the rounds. And that's why in this kind of a situation, it's just you just call the save really.
Well, they didn't plan for a while. They might be considering their options, but no. They will be boosting up, building the fortress. As Crystal sits above, looking for any players, hunting for frags. Double orb set up potentially on the T side. You don't see that too often, but this team, Luminosity, don't really play by your rule book. They'll do whatever they like. That was a very fast approach. Nice little A split. Not really, I guess an A attack. Didn't really use highway. It was just the squeaky door, the main entrance, and basic smoke. Sick missed the first shot. If you missed the first shot with the AWP and is still exposed, you are absolutely done for. His teammate gets one, but that's all they get. That was Vice. Managed to get sprayed down and a bit of damage to steal, but unfortunately no chance to retake.
I'm glad that they swapped out an AWP, because if you look at the stats of both AWP players, you can see that they haven't really had all the mileage in the world from these sniper rifles. And to have 2 versus a 4-buy of Rogue, having saved 3 guns they can drop to their teammates, I think that it would just probably make them lose the round. Because they'd be so limited to playing for picks with those that they probably wouldn't get unless they had some fortune go their way. Speaking of which, Henny has not the most forward spawn, but he's going for the wallbang instead. 149 coming up, and back and forth, but not quite.
There we go. Look at the stack here.
Wow, yeah.
CT's got 4 players on A. They're going for that attack again. They did this before. They flash through, and they try and get map control here. Sure, they're not going to get a kill, but they've got to play in towards lockers. Got to buy them some time to set up with the incendiary towards the steps here. But Luminosity going to shove all in towards middle. They've heard the flashbangs come through, and that incendiary suggests they won't have as much presence towards middle, so they're using that as information. And maybe go for the fast B split here. They've got 1 player in towards checkers, or I should say Sunroom, beg your pardon, and they'll go down towards the vents here and look to take down Ricky, who's actually alone and isolated here. This is a great call from Luminosity.
It's a really problematic here for Ricky. Not many places to stand. That's a good flick. Force forward, but they're not really pushing behind that. Oh, he's going to have loads of time to delay here. Eventually goes down, but still no ground game. Luminosity, they're not on the bomb site just yet. 50 seconds to go, and finally maybe they can push their way there. But there's already a flank, which is rounding through the warehouse, mid-warehouse, and it's going to be there soon. They've got 2 players on the bomb site. This is just less than ideal, isn't it, for Luminosity?
They've got retake smokes as well if they want them.
Big nades.
Lots of spam going into the back of the site. Can they identify where these players are? Crystal's on a super slow look, heading towards the mid position instead of round the back. More Molotovs coming in. Now with the flank, maybe that will deter them from getting some of these retake smokes in. Well, that's a nice play from Vice for attempts, but he'll get traded immediately. 2-on-2 now, and that's Steel taken out on a lurk. Henny, that's a fast one from him. He's got to be quick. He misses the shot though.
There it is.
But it's so expensive.
I think it'll be fine either way. It'll be touch and go though. Dan made the call. He's got it. You weren't quick enough. You had to do it quickly.
It was
once you get to 5 seconds, you know whether you got it or not.
That's the problem. I needed them to come in straight away. Yes or no. In future, if I shout for one of you for bomb, yes or no. No thinking about it. No deliberating. Okay.
Right.
Yes or no.
Right.
And if you get it wrong, there is an axe on the table. Something might be happening. No, there won't. No violence here. Or maybe we've got a prize.
Back to the ramen again. Don't give him
ideas.
No,
maybe no more ramen. The ramen will be cooked at one point this season. That's what I'm going to say.
Let's do it right now.
You said you were going to. Maybe in between the maps. Could you do it? Could you do it before the next map starts? I'm quite ravenous now, actually.
I'm up for some ramen.
Yeah. Do you like it watery or quite dry?
Can you have dry ramen?
These packet ones just add less water and it absorbs it a bit more.
I didn't go to university. I don't know that much about the ramen preparation.
Broadcast university with Street Fighter stuff. Is that what you're doing back then?
Crappy IT support jobs.
Oh really? You did like real estate as well, right?
Yeah.
You did everything.
Transitioned from IT support to real estate, but can Rogue hold on to this real estate? It's looking to be quite pricey for them. But the bomb, maybe they'll get some money back with that. Collected again by the T's. They've got a player to the left of Vice. He's got to be careful in case somebody creeps up in the behind the white box, the sugar cube. T's too rich for 6 blood, and Ricky will be taken out as well. Big fight in mid, and I think the round will be won or lost here. Running out of bullets and HP is Vice, leaving Hiko alone. 1 versus 3. Seen many clutch highlights from Hiko. Has he got it in him now? Red and green. He's got the Christmas colours out.
Hiko now.
It's a bit tough, isn't it?
He's had some infamous clutches on this bomb site in 3-on-1s before.
And against Luminosity, although with different.
That's a good point as well. Yeah. That's a sick point. That would be amazing. If we can recreate that, we've got front page of Reddit. No problem, boys. Let's go. Come on, Eco.
I think the point was I had to be casting it because that's how before.
Yeah.
I was casting it, you know.
Oh, that would have been so good. That would have been a moment.
Yeah, it would have been quite the moment.
Oh, well.
It was just 4, I think. Yeah, it was 1 versus 4 before, yeah.
All right, don't ruin it, Dan. It's a nice idea.
I've been, while you guys have been commentating, I've been buying 100 Thief stickers.
Yeah, this is a new Bitcoin now.
It's a new Bitcoin, mate. It's a new Bitcoin,
100 Thief stickers. Get your Thief coin.
I'll sell it when it gets to 1 million. Ricky with the scout and a bunch of pistols here for Rogue. In the last round of the first half, money has been spent, but how far will it take them? Not very far, not for Vice at least. He has crashed into the floor head first. What remains of his head at least. Neck is, can he control the spray? He can, but the trade is there for Crystal. But the sight is here for Luminosity. Taking down Ricky at range, reasonable range. Crystal blind, running into the wall. Crystal still alive. Grenades flying all over the place. Absolute carnage. Nice shot from him, emerging through the smoke. So many, it sounds. Be surprised if they could even hear him coming. But there it is. 8-7 in favor of Luminosity.
6-0 at the start for Rogue. Then, Luminosity, they got rolling. They got the teamwork going. They had the very simple approach, just choosing a bomb site, getting stuck in, finding the frags, clutching it out. They actually looked quite convincing towards the end. They actually closed out the half of a victory. I didn't think they stood a chance. They were 6-0 down.
I think 8 rounds on the T side for Luminosity is a very good situation for them. Based on what we saw yesterday versus a stronger team in Team Liquid, where T side was a struggle and the CT side was the boon, this is a good situation, even if they lose a pistol, I would say.
I think so. I would tend to agree. Let's have a look at the buys. 2 smokes suggests it'll be A side, smoke towards the bomb site, and indeed highway. And then you just flash in and see if you can get the first kill. I like this approach though from Luminosity. Getting a bit of intel. They're not pushing too far in towards B, but just going to be probing and pushing anyone back there. So the smoke, I expect to be on the left-hand side of the site and then toward in front of highway and try and get that bomb down as fast as possible. Most CT teams will play in a retake formation. As you can see, there's only 1 player towards A right now, and that's going to be Steel. So he's just holding there. He won't necessarily get tons of frags. He hopefully gets 1 and calls that are going in early. But obviously he can't see if anyone sneaks through Squeaky Door, for example. But it's very rare to anticipate a player just walking out of Squeaky and planting the bomb. That's not going to happen.
You also have the retake smoke lineup from that position as well, where it just drops straight on the bomb, which forces T's out of position in main as well. But might not be necessary. Looks like it'll be a burst on the B bomb side. That's what it looks like, at least. There's still a couple players on the extremities going towards that A bomb site, so really interesting approach. You do have to wonder sometimes if it's a little bit too elaborate. You're splitting players up maybe a tad too much in the pistol round, but it seems like the distraction's working out completely. Because, as mentioned, there's no real ability to spot directly on the A bomb site. And so Rogue are abusing that right now by suggesting that it's an A play. And now it's like a double fake. That's incredible.
I love the firing. You can see them spamming through the smoke. It looks a bit very cartoony.
That's so smart that they threw the smoke.
Yeah?
That's like the most low utility double fake I've seen. And it's completely successful.
No one's holding the cross from the car position. And there we go. The USPs off to a good start here on the A bomb site after the back and forth. A smoke trying to be deployed on the bomb. And we've seen diffuses on cash in that smoke. Oh, yes. But there's a good setup so far. Well, it was good, and now everyone's dead, which is a problem. Ricky tagging, but not fragging. He's so close. He's either side. He's hitting the notches of the belt. But he can't touch the buckle.
He really can't. Don't touch Daddy's buckle. That's what I learned. And it will be... I didn't know what I meant by that. It sounded funny in my head.
Very good.
Rogue will give it up. Ricky trying his absolute best there. And they got the bomb down, so that's still not a disaster. They'll have the arguable advantage in the third round. The AKs coming out, especially these SMG. Focus in the second. It will be Rogue. We'll just have PT-50s now. Objective, Dan, get the bomb down. They got a smoke, right? Where should they throw it? What's the plan?
That's a good question. In rounds like this, it can be the case that CTs will play retake on A, just because they don't mind giving up the bomb plant, just because they want to prioritize their own economy more. And this round is not completely like that. Having a player on forklift to steal with the MP5, I mean, we already know that he's just salivating at the opportunity of getting these eco frags to the MP5. But we heard him firing off in spawn. He's like, this feels good.
It feels nice.
Feels really good. It's on Pisces.
Yeah.
Feels great.
Dan, when we have our $1,000 playoff game, you and I, should we do MP5 only?
All right.
MP5 and Deagles only.
All right. Sounds good.
That's the ultimate skill game.
Pistols I love P250.
Me too. Great gun.
I want to get a custom number plate when I buy a car.
Right.
Which says P250 God.
What, is like an ironic thing?
I'm also a P250 dude. What are you talking about? I choose the P250 as my sidearm when I'm AWPing.
Okay.
You shut your face.
Oh god, it's too much fun today, guys.
Yes, that's just cathartic, isn't it? The jam, apricot jam.
You're gonna love apricot jam, dude.
Mate, bring it in tomorrow.
You're gonna love apricot jam.
Do you have any, James, right now?
I bought a jar this morning.
Okay. Is it
I
still
bought the
full?
bread, the prison bread.
Yeah, Dave's bread. Dave's killer bread. He believes in second chances, James.
It's got mad grains in that
Prison bread.
Yeah, prison. He
suggested serving the prison, but no, he was in prison and he learned his lesson.
He hires
okay, that's
cover
cool,
convicts,
though.
basically.
Yeah,
He can't do the job, yeah. And I say recovered ex-convict.
Recovered convict. Recovered from the prison by what, his mates?
Yeah.
Yeah. 21 grains. Do you get the 21 grains, James?
I don't know that.
We're not going back to the grain discussion. We did that yesterday.
3-round lead for Luminosity in this situation, and I think they look good for this map of cash at the moment.
Yes,
Down to Rogue to prove us wrong. Luminosity keeping the money together with the SMGs as boost over towards A. However, there are mans over towards B as far as Rogue are concerned.
Here we go then. The silent but deadly approach here from Rogue. Smoking towards the entrance, making their way towards Checkers. A bit of spam there to suggest they're not quite all the way in. They're going to be checking the close corner as well, just in case the smoke was blocking their vision. This is the 3rd round force fight, remember. Rogue, slight advantage here, but great shot from Neckers. That will find them an early kill. And now they're trying to hold off the ensuing terrorists.
Smoke further out rather than the one close, which you might see like a Rops use instead, and Vice is delivering the frags. Yeah, has not gone the right way at all, has it? That has not gone the right way, and I think it's a question of saving at this point. Because Yol and Steel are far away, although they're moving towards the B bomb site.
They fancy it.
Ooh, okay, Henny. I don't know how he got a kill there. 2 versus 3, and I think that the CTs are probably going to run to their doom at this point. Steel holding an angle. It's got a HE. No smokes for these CTs. Steel has a kit. If he is to fall, he must fall near the site.
This will be the save now, I believe. Not really much they can do there. If they had maybe an incendiary to flush someone out, that's possible, right? But not with this retake. They've still got money to buy. No point throwing money down the proverbial toilet. So they'll fall back now. And there it is. 3rd round forced by success from Rogue. Like we always say, if you lose the pistol, as long as the bomb goes down, there's not a complete defeat. What's Yell up to? Trying to find a little AK here? You gonna get one? No. Nice idea.
Looking for some booty.
Yep.
Right. Or back out onto Henny. Has he got a spawn? No, he's not. No spawn for him. Rogue rocking those 5 AKs. Very dynamic, very quick if you want to be.
This is going to go all the way. Have we had an overtime game yet?
Nope.
In these 2 days? This might be it, boy. Got to call it now.
Question straight over the top there. Do they understand that someone's really close? Neckers. Ooh, the transfer's almost good there, but will be denied in the end. 4 versus 4 early into the round. But that is mid-control for the T side, so you will trade a kill for that. Absolutely happy with that, I would imagine. I think the bomb's still down there, though, actually. Indeed. So what is the plan now for Rogue? They haven't really pushed anyone back in, so the Stick will be the first man going back into mid. To check everything, need some time. Since they exchange kills there, and 1 minute left, you've got mid control. You've got a 4v4. Usually the CT side will be the one making a play here, trying to get information to know which way to stack. Maybe take A main, maybe take B storage. Very classic moves. And when you get a frag early as a T side, you're actually baiting for them to do that. You try to catch it. So maybe that's the reason why we're seeing just Luminosity just playing 2-2 to each bomb site and just very passive. Don't want to get caught.
Well, for now, 40 seconds remain. Crystal looking to make his way up towards short. A split looking very likely, but Steel's position, and Henny's for that matter, should be able to shut this down, no problem. And he's not relenting anytime soon. He actually wants a little bit more of the action. And indeed, they absolutely wreck house here. That was a really nice setup from Luminosity. You can't really poke many holes in that at all. They knew exactly what was coming, perfectly positioned, and they hit all the shots. You can't really ask for anything more than that, Dan.
Yeah, that was really good.
Look at the reset, James. It's all really come through. It's
Where the money at?
Yeah, it's gone. It's all gone.
I'm favouring Luminosity.
Me too.
I am favouring Luminosity.
7-8.
That's a good reset.
Economy crippled.
Yeah. Got a feeling, guys. No, like,
now I can make a prediction.
it is a T-sided map, though, technically. So not all is lost. E250 though and 2 Galils. That's not the most compelling purchase, but it will be a B execution. I talked about it before, that you can do some brutal executions here towards B. You want to shoot out the window, 2 on the site, you're going to throw up flashbangs straight after the Molotov. See if that happens. As you can do that, it's the flash attack, makes things very unfortunate for the CTs on the other side. Not much damage inflicted, but it's absolute pandemonium going on right now. There's the burn, as Yell is cowering on the site here. The bomb goes down in front of him, but they don't know he's there. This is excellent.
Hello, Ricky. Goodbye, Ricky. And now, with the flashes from his teammates, he's looking to get some more frags. Could apply some defuse pressure at this point, because they have swarmed all over the place. What can FACEIT even do at this point? Maybe some damage, but he won't be able to do too much. Hiko will fall to the flames, and that will be that. We saw an interesting Molotov. I saw the lineup from Sunream. There is a different lineup, which is more towards the B-bomb site, which goes into the headshot position. But I feel like that one was part of default, but kind of spilled over into the headshot position as well. So if you're standing there, probably spread and cause problems. So that was interesting to see. A nice execute, but indeed the retake was on point for Luminosity. And here they are, up against pistols again.
Pistols are out and about. 16 kills for Hiko. Top fragging right now. Not looking too bad at all. Sick, I'm expecting more from though. He's had so much chat about him recently. He was very good when he was in the TSM team, but I haven't seen much from him in Rogue. I haven't watched him too much, but last couple of days, haven't really seen him step up. I haven't said, wow, he really is.
He's been pretty good. Yesterday was anchoring really well on the planet. Multi-kills every time on Banana.
Didn't he have like one that he was like dropped off the entire first half, and then he came in the second? I think that was the case. I can't remember. But he's just like, I just call it how it is, Dan. Right now, not too good. But we'll see whether he can recover.
It's a tough ask in this round. Lucas. Oh, that is beautiful. Not quite though for Sick in the end. Good spray there. And Lucas will be safe. Wanting back. Doesn't really feel like Rogue are able to do too much here. They need you need those Deagles to really get those connections. The Deagles are the game changers here. And maybe the CZ as well. Here you go. Stealing away a quick kill here. Maybe opportunity for Ricky. It's a slow burner, isn't it? But
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Crystal and Hiko remain. That bomb is in no man's land. Big frag from Hiko on the elevated position. They know there's a player in main. He's got to hit the shot here, Crystal. He's got to hit the shot unless Hiko wants to gamble and pick up the bomb, but he's still on the site, which means the bomb is even further away at the feet of Luminosity, who are shining bright at the moment here on Cash. 3 rounds away from victory.
Indeed. James said he favoured Luminosity. They are running away with it now. Only 1 round picked up in the second half so far. It's a tactical timeout for Rogue. Clutching at straws now. They do have enough money to purchase into this. The 6 already made the call. He's got the AK first. Ricky can't get his AWP though. Oh, to be fair, he can. 5k, I missed that. So he can buy it, but at what cost? It makes him very squishy. Won't be able to be as dynamic as usual. Couldn't maybe get boosted, too vulnerable to grenades. But we'll see what they decide to do. That's probably why they're taking the pause right now, to work out, is it worth it? Do we get the AWP power here? Is there anything that has to be done against Yell and Henny's situation? 2 very explosive AWP players there. What are they going to go for? There it is. Ricky goes for it, boys. Glass cannon. He'll get himself a smoke as well. He's got a good spawn. He might try and take that towards mid straight away and see if he can beat the smoke. Not going to be the case. Goes straight towards A main perhaps and waits for any sort of aggression. So should hold here. Let's see whether Henny will challenge. Which he will. Oh, he hits the shot. That's a Yell.
Goodness.
That was pretty sick, wasn't it?
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Gravy.
Jam.
Not sauce,
Mustard.
gravy.
I think does gravy even an expression?
Depending on where you are in America, gravy is sauce.
That's right. KFC,
But in some
they do
places,
like
gravy is gravy.
Yeah.
These people are flying the gravy flag. No gravy for Luminosity. Chicken looking pretty dry in this round. 3 players left versus the 5 remain. But Henny is still alive, and that will always be a problem. Interesting use of HE grenade. But nothing doing on this occasion. Nico just trying to make a nuisance of himself. He's looking for information here. Not looking to fight to the death necessarily. So now they know where one of the 3 players are for the CT side. And the T's are moving towards the A side, maybe thinking that Luminosity will think that Rogue are going to B because he goes jumping around on A.
Oh, this could be massive for Henny, but oh, it'll be very bad. And there is why. No chance to fall back into cover after the first shots. And Steel now make his way through Fork. Can be a very game-changing position if you can hold on to it. You get a good vantage point onto many positions towards the site. And you'll actually have to go back towards well, never mind. It's all over now. So Rogue fighting back. How much money did Luminosity build? An okay amount for a bit of a sketchy buy here. Ooh, but this could be the moment.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Turn it all around.
Yeah. MP5. Deagle. Henny's got the orb. Currently on 19 kills. Same story, Steel. For the boost. No one going out there right now. This is Rogue looking to avoid the reset here, but Hiko, aware of the possibility of someone pushing towards Squeaky Door, boosts himself up. No one on the other side. It's actually quite a passive hold towards A as the CTs rotate back in towards that position. They were focusing on middle at the start, but now leaving middle completely open. They'll just have to focus on vents and presumably have the orb towards Highway. Focus now getting flashed in towards B storage. Will challenge with the M4. Drops the little one-way smoke. Wants to right-click that and see if he can use the gap. He's actually waiting for them to Molotov it. As for now, it's all come to a bit of a stalemate. Bomb still down in towards Useless, and Vice will set himself up towards that sunroom area.
It's gambling on that A attack. Luminosity right now. Can't work out quite nicely. Very late mid-take coming in from Rogue. And you can build this into B split or an A split. Really the question is for the CTs to answer that, what it will be by taking an aggression somewhere, making information happen. But they are just waiting right now. Luminosity are not making a move. They start to feel the pressure of the grenades coming in, but they still don't have the information as to what's going on, and it might be too late.
They've got retake grenades for the B bomb site, but Lucas is not really playing retake. He's stuck in the site on his own, and there is the flank taken out. Big problems now. 20 seconds though. Surely they know Lucas is here. He threw some flashbangs, but he's still here. They're still... I mean, if he goes down, I think it's just a save at this point. They're just going to commit to the A bomb site. Took a gamble, Luminosity, with 3 players on A. Didn't pay off. Save for the next round.
They had opportunities when the round started to get quite slow to take information. I think that they got... I mean, that's just a massive punish, really, from Rogue. You play it really slow. You see that the CTs aren't really doing anything, and you're like, well... We have mid control, and we've got way more information. We'll just make the play, and Luminosity just praying, just hoping.
Well, the prayers were not answered. Luminosity will save the orb, though, and the MP5 and Neck is on 1 HP. That's one of the main reasons they have to go for a save there. He's not got a weapon for a start, and just 1 point of health. What's he up to here? You get a wallbang his teammate. Just line that up perfectly. Here we go. And dead. Take the shot. Do it. Well, not going to happen. Double digits of Rogue. Apparently so. So, AWP purchased and, well, saved, I should say. Sick, nice shot there. Vice to seal the deal on the B bomb site. Not really much they could do after that. Doesn't look like Luminosity will be purchasing into this. Interesting, considering they saved 3 weapons. To be fair, one with an MP5, the other was a Deagle.
I mean, one excuse you can have for gambling like that is if you're down to 4 players already, but they still have 5, and they had a bunch of utility and so on. Very odd, very bizarre, strange, surreal.
Unusual.
Odd.
Perverse.
That's just you, James.
Only 3 rounds now between these 2 sides. How aggressive will Henny be? Does he risk losing the orb to gamble to try and win the round? Seem aggressive towards A. That is a CT smoke that was deployed there. Good timing on the Molotov. Perhaps expecting the T's to eventually re-aggress here. Rogue not shy of a late play. They will continue in this position, although as I say that, Henny is moving away now that we have Steel very close in that main position. Henny moving towards short. The vent is unbroken. Ooh, he's going to have the angle. Not expecting somebody to be there. He's not going to escape. Surely not. Can't pull out the gun. Oh, Neck is to cover just in time. That's the bomb as well. Trying to smoke himself off to save for a rainy day, but he can't do that. And I've got a CT pushing the B bomb site, and It's Henny alone. So much time on the clock. They could have chosen to bolster one of the sites, but it gambled, tried to pick players off, trying to hold down area during the bedlam of the bomb being dropped in mid. Didn't work out for them.
Certainly didn't. It was a little bit exciting that first Eagle kill comes in. You pointed out the bomb was dropped. They had Henny on the A side. Presumably could have maybe looked towards that area, trying to stop them picking it up. But as soon as Vice got involved and started finding multiple kills, it was clear that Henny just had to save the AWP once again. The money, remember, they didn't force buy into that previous round, so they actually have a decent chance of getting a nice, strong buy. If they don't save this AWP, it'll be a little bit flaky, but overall, he's closed the door. They shouldn't be pushing too hard. To be fair, they've actually got a great setup here. He's going to be dead for sure. And it will be Ricky to close things out. And there it is. The AWP gone. They can't actually afford another AWP, and that's such a massive kill. Rogue definitely justifying that hunt there. So here we go. We are getting the full distance. Round number 25. And they might even just take a partial buy. Luminosity, I think they will buy. That's enough for an okay purchase. But if you're really focusing on the AWPs, want to go double AWPs, you could just do a partial here and then try and win out with Deagles. Maybe that will work out for you, but then bring out the WAWPs.
That's definitely why we've seen the tactical here. It's like, you know, there's definitely like a multitude of decisions that can be made in this position. Are you still liking your predictions? You both predicted Luminosity at 11-8, so...
That's true, yeah.
When they had economic advantage, you know.
You know what, actually, I'm feeling like Rogue might do this now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change my prediction.
Nice, that seems...
In round number 25, I'm changing that.
Yeah, so...
This is part of the course. Just change it, actually. Don't feel like that was the correct one. So, deal with that.
Seems fair. Right, so I have no problem with that at all. So we have the buy coming in indeed, and I'll spend everything, and you can see that they managed to get the M4s together. There is not a single kit, which is sad. Very sad indeed. I want to see if that's going to be a part in this round, or play a part in this round. It's going to be very difficult, isn't it, with this limited amount of utility to stop the Ts. Cut so many corners here. Luminosity really need this. Rogue are starting to take things into their own hands, get a bit out of control. Interestingly,
what the hell? Is that one of those lineups you like look into the wall and then you run to a certain position?
I think so, yeah.
And then you can like just pull the trigger and you've got it lined up for.
Has to be.
I'm not gonna ask for it, but we do have that. Let's grab it. But that would be kind of looked like one of those plays where maybe he was just there before the smoke. He just had it lined up, was waiting.
Yeah. I mean, looking for the peak for CT crossing. But I mean, the time on the clock, that's a long time, so...
I think it's because you can often have that CT just standing as well on top of the coils, just like looking for someone to do something.
Yeah, indeed.
So that's really nice, actually.
Does Yell choose the right time to strike here? So many players in the mid position. Does he peek now to use the distraction? He does! Gets one kill, spot Sick with the bomb. Can the CTs do anything else with that information though? Sick, he's in a weird position because he has to jump up on the box and expose himself to get into the vent to save the bomb, but he can't save the bomb because Lucas is in checkers.
Oh, that's a big one. Hiko down to him now, 1 versus 1. In comes the last player, knows where he is, 10 seconds. He has to move, has to go for the plant. There's no other choice. He's going to be able to smoke himself off here. Planting, trying to plant safe, but he can't make it there in time. And I mean, you know, some criticisms might be, oh, you know, they left very little time on the clock. But I think that, you know, playing a slow round was a good choice. You know, they know that the CTs have no utility, so you really burn all that utility, guaranteed.
The bomb goes down, and to be fair, I felt like Luminosity should have made this a cleaner round. They had way too much aggression towards middle once they had the advantages. They wanted just to get into the bomb side and back at the teammates. They wanted to keep duel after duel after duel, and that's how they got themselves in this position. Sure, Luminosity win the previous round, but they got such a disadvantage here. If they can somehow win this game, they'll be able to win out, probably, because there'll be no money left for Rogue. But they've got a huge advantage here. They've got the AWP, and they've actually lost a player. Crystal jumps down into smoke. I'm not sure if he meant to, because he gets absolutely destroyed there. Nekis now has an AK instead of the SMG. Sick gets dinked through the smoke. He's going to deny the plant. That's steal. And it doesn't land. That's huge. Now they can plant cleanly. They think they denied the plant, but they actually haven't. It's gone default.
Failed Molotovs all over the shop. Rogue with that post-plant smoke, that is beautiful. That really slows things down for the CTs. And they've only got one player with a kit. So there's a decision to be made by Luminosity here. They're still setting up for something. Got Lucas starting to move into main. That bomb is ticking pretty fast though. And there's still another smoke. If 6 drops that, then this is surely suicide for the CTs. now they've got a 5 versus 3, so maybe it's not. But Rikke at the back of the site, Sick delivering as well, and the CTs are coming into their doom. Can anyone get on the bomb in time? It's just Eco. He hasn't got an angle, or has he? Just around the corner. There's the spray. Last man, doesn't matter where he is. Luminosity, they lose almost everything in that round, sent to Eco Town as well.
Absolutely. It was looking so convincing at one point. They get upgraded to an AK-47 due to Crystal falling off the boosted position. The backstab was effective, but Hiko, he's on the CT side, Dan, but it still counts as a 3 versus 1 clutch on Cash against Luminosity. You weren't casting it, though. You needed to get more involved.
Yeah, I love getting involved.
But I still liked it. It was a lot of fun. 14-12. Tactical timeout. They save 1 AK, but their money is wrecked. They're going to buy. We're going to overtime, boys.
No, we're not.
Watch this space.
All these predictions, Henry. There's so many of them.
There's so many predictions. Back and forth.
There's only so much ramen.
Yeah, can we have it after this map, please?
Yeah, okay.
We should go to one of those tarot places.
I would love to. That'd be good content.
Sometimes there's a woman in the street downstairs.
All right, I'll go speak to her.
We should do one.
What if she gives me some really bad news and it kind of really hinders the whole day? Like, you're really ill. Oh, are you a doctor or? Anyway, Lucas, he is a bit of a doctor as he makes the first incision towards the B storage area. He'll take down 1 in a second, and now this could be the chance to get to match point. Back and forth we go once again, 3 versus 3. Lucas has the AK-47, 2 kills to his name, but still such a massive advantage. Sick might go down here though, it's a little bit touch and go. Hiko might have sealed the deal at this point, we'll see. No, not quite. Low HP for the CTs. Surely Rogue closes one out.
Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be much opportunity here.
They might as well save the AKs, in my opinion.
Yeah, horribly out of place. 15 health, 17 health, there's just no way. You're in if it was like 2v1, you can like maybe get a trade out possibility. You're looking at something that you can work with, but there's no utility as well, single flashbang. And so we're seeing still get flashed for here, but what can you really accomplish, hope to accomplish here?
The fact they've got no utility on such low HP, they're hoping like maybe there's a massive mistake made. We'll peek around the corner. Anyone there? No. And that's fine. That was enough of a probe. Just have a look. If there wasn't a guaranteed kill quickly, go for it, sure. But this is the right choice. Don't win the round, sure, but you have to say 2 AKs, maybe an AWP if they're lucky. Don't think that's available to them, though. As they'll get CZs and Deagles as well, so that's enough. They can drop at least a CZ and a Deagle to their teammates. There'll be something for the next round. But now they've got themselves in such financial turmoil because they're going to want to force buy again of 2 AKs. So we'll see if that's the case here. Exciting stuff. And it will be round number 28. AK-47s across the board for the Ts. And the dropped Deagle and CZ comes out. They don't necessarily want to buy here by the looks of things. So they go for the more conservative approach.
Just one round in it. The money is together for the CT side. There are 3 Ts moving towards that B bomb site. Normally a lurker position, you do expect to find one person there. But Rogue, they've got a good spread around the map to start with, just making sure there's no pushes from the CTs. So the 3 men towards B was in case of a rush from the CTs, it seems, as they've left Vice there on his own now. And he will focus on the mid area. Very quickly, it seems we may be going into a B split. The bomb moving through the vents into checkers, and now we've got 3 Ts around B. No one on the B site itself, and with no grenades apart from one flashbang, I'm sure Luminosity will now focus on holding on to these 2 AKs, using the 3 pistoling players as an early warning system, and also try and get them on some weapons as well.
Yeah, it's not a horrendous result, keeping those AKs.
Yeah, that's what they really can do. This has been a bit of a war of attrition going on the last few rounds.
Still won't go to overtime, though.
Yeah, it's definitely going overtime, Dan.
It's definitely not.
They will win the next round, Luminosity. They'll get reset again, and Rogue will take us to...
If that happens...
Then the ramen's mine. Okay, officially,
pass me the ramen. We're going to overtime.
That will be the line.
Put the kettle on, James.
Yeah.
100 Celsius, please.
Yes, indeed.
What is boiling water in American? Is it like 74 Fahrenheit or something?
Oh.
How do you boil water in Fahrenheit?
It can't be that.
Definitely not that, because that's quite cool. That's quite nice.
That's less than the Celsius.
Is it 130? Is it 130?
Yeah, something like that.
74 is like 24 degrees Celsius, James.
Yeah.
Actually, I should know from diving in America. Okay. I have to know both temperatures and weight systems just
obviously
to go
you don't. Can I have your license, please? I'll revoke it right now. Because that's...
give me the Dan license.
It's been a while, lad.
Isn't that what it's called? It's called Dan license.
Paddy.
No, that's in my insurance. It's called Dan.
Is it Paddy license? Is that it?
That's one of them.
Yeah.
That's just one.
Okay. That's the one I did.
It's got a card that says Dan on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Divers Alert Network is the insurance. It's called Dan.
Okay.
I get stickers every year. It just says Dan in capital letters.
It's right. It's right next to the Super Army Soldiers
membership. The membership card. Super Army Soldiers. You're lucky that didn't blow up, dude.
If I join another team, I'm
didn't
calling
even
it
go in
Super
Reddit.
Army Soldiers.
Wow.
But
come on, guys.
Early days. You never know.
You guys have dropped the ball here. Maybe it just didn't come through well on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Say it with me. They believe me.
I really hope not. It's not.
Right.
It's not a good.
Back to the action, gents. This is it now. We're getting to the precipice of
greatness.
Destruction.
Greatness. Yes. Yeah. That would do. Greatness.
Greatness. Okay.
AWP for Yell, you can still see they can't get a decent buy together. They've got the saved AKs, but still he has no armor. They have got the utility, but who will get match point first?
Who will get match point first?
Thanks for that. Neck is with... I never use this. This is an interesting awkward angle. I always go under the boost position. And that's my awkward angle of choice, and this one's not going to work out for Nekes. He's the only man. Oh, he's not. We've got Steel on white box as well, but does he... How long does he stay here for? Is he looking for information? He's starting to back off.
Rogue throwing in a couple of flashbangs towards the further forward positions in B storage as well. There's 3 players there for Luminosity lying in wait. They're down a man, so they're sort of stacking, gamble stacking B at the moment, which is definitely not a bad choice necessarily, especially if you want to avoid that situation Henry said, where you'll get reset in the following round. You've got this dilemma: do we push for information and potentially lose another player, and then we're just definitely done, or do we try to stack and then at least if we get it wrong, we still can do something in the next round? So I think the stack is actually a super good call here. However, if the A bomb site is lost, maybe we will see that retake of which everyone just gets wrecked like we did yesterday.
I can't wait for that.
But it looks like they're going to be... It's okay. Everything's okay, Henry.
Smokes down, Molotovs deployed, flashbangs in, and someone's burning. Crystal will get another kill. Rogue homing in on match point. It's up to Lucas, one of the last lines of defense. And look at the split coming through. Henny will get 1 kill, but that was actually perfectly done. They've had to get a player all the way through spawn as well. He's coming up heaven behind them. That was pretty insane. Rogue deserved to win now.
Completely insane.
Yeah, Crystal a big place.
What has happened to Luminosity?
Won't be overtime, will there be, Henry?
Sorry?
Henry, there will be no overtime.
You don't know that.
Luminosity
There's an AWP out.
Not going to win here.
Out of them 4 and a UMP.
It fell back to guesswork.
Henry called overtime just to know about 15 rounds ago. So let's see what happens there. All right, Connor. Can hear him commenting. It's about 10 rounds ago.
Look at all these white people betraying each other.
Oh no, the flash. Oh, he's in the dark with the smoke. Could have been genius being shot by his own teammate. Ricky, why have you done that? We can forgive him. There were flashes, there was smoke. He's just an innocent lad in an indecent time.
Were you trying to quote Batman there?
No, because it wasn't the quote.
That was from the Break It Down.
It's an indecent man a decent man in an indecent time, right?
No. Oh. We were indecent people. Oh. We were decent people.
Does anyone know
in
the
an
quote?
Indecent time.
So I got it wrong,
right.
Absolutely, yeah.
We
So
were decent people.
I wasn't quoting.
In an indecent time.
Is this Batman, sorry?
Yeah, it's Harvey Two-Face.
Right. Anyway, this is the most important round. It's the only one we have to take seriously. Dan, take it away.
Vice opens up middle. That's the head of Nekes now rolling around on the floor. And another head taken. Vice is the executioner. The guillotine all over the place as it goes to a 3 versus 3 here. Trying to buy for the A bomb site. They're committed, our Rogue. The bomb is down on the floor. This is a very bad look for them, but they have some time to try to work this from. But Yell's pushed into the A main position by Lockers with an off angle. It's not looking good. Ricky had to hit that. Now he's down to 15. He's got to get out of there. 28 seconds. Surely this can't work out now. Overtime looks very likely now.
Here we go. 2 versus 3. Ricky surely can't escape. Time ticking away. Vice, you got to hit those. He does eventually. But time really is of the essence right now. If Ricky hits one of these kills, he might have a chance. Oh my goodness, it's not going to happen. 10 seconds remaining. He knows both of them are there, but one of them will just run away. There's no chance to plant here. The flashbang's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to overtime. It's happened. Vice is locked out. There it is. It's confirmed. Dan, you know what to do.
Yeah, well,
go fetch the ramen. It's over.
Put the kettle on.
That is it.
Get the Snatch reference in there. You know, that said, I think it is cancelled out though by your previous incorrect prediction. Saying
I don't think it is.
You can't just pick and choose.
We literally said,
you can't just predict 5
if
things
this goes overtime,
you
go make the ramen. That was it. That was the final one.
To be honest, I was offering to do it anyways. Really.
Okay, so can we submit?
You clearly want to make ramen. Just make the ramen, man.
He's off.
The ROM.
All right, he's gone. We'll take over from here.
Everything is fine. What? Whatever. 3 AWPs, 212 degrees. What kind of nonsense measurement
Fahrenheit.
is that?
Keep up, man.
Yell and Henny with the AWPs now. The money is here. They're all in on the first round. They will be broke as a joke by the third if they lose this one. In many cases.
Indeed.
All but guaranteed. Yes, he go off to a good start. Not the first time he's been up on the rail. Ooh, this is not going very well at all, is it? No response from Luminosity. They have chosen to be passive in some of these rounds and it hasn't really paid off for them. Guessing in the late game, but now their hand is absolutely forced.
Here we go then, 5 on 3. Double orbs in the retake really isn't ideal, but the bomb hasn't been planted yet. Might even get to that stage. As we'll hit the 1 minute mark now. Ricky seems to be very aware that Henny is on the other side, cowering by the door here, but they move towards B. Ricky does miss a pretty difficult shot, to be fair. Very small time to react. And the B-bomb site is completely open right now. Obviously, the T's not aware of it, but it might not matter as Nekis will be dropped eventually. Now just 2 players remaining. And in terms of cash, do you guys play 16k here, do you know? I think we had this conversation.
10,000.
10,000. So this is actually important. They save the double. You can't throw this away. You need to actually keep those on your backs. But might not be a chance to, as Henny will try and defend A here. Will take something quite special. 30 seconds remaining. They're both here. This could happen, James. What is going on? It's going to be a 5 versus 2. Surely this isn't the collapse of Rogue, and that is absolutely sensational. What has just happened? We're talking about saving the orbs.
2 versus 5. That's what I'm talking about. Luminosity on cash. Took long enough, didn't it? Took long enough.
That's so sick. How has it gone wrong?
Absolute massacre. Talk about being put on your back. They went full Stormy Daniels.
That's unreal. Dan, you missed out, mate. I know you were cooking ramen, but that was wild. Oh my goodness. I didn't think that was possible in a million years.
Brazilians, baby.
Yeah. Oh, that's astonishing sequence of events.
Yes, it
is. I need a cigarette after that.
Luminosity are right back into this. Smoking's bad for your health.
Indeed it is. That's a joke.
Don't be vaping either.
Don't vape, don't smoke, don't drink.
Bits of metal in your body.
Is that what happens?
The filament's metal, man. You're going to just fill your body with crap. Don't replace
I'm
one
just going to
vice with
Google
another.
something, hold on.
It's like eating light bulbs.
Yeah.
Luminosity 1 round ahead early on, and Riquet's looking for something. It's a nice one-off by Steel though, and he'll be forced away from his position, holding the angle. But nothing will be given. 5 versus 4 now. Rogue. They've had advantages before in this overtime, and they were very costly indeed. From what I can see, Dan is trying to use a vase to make ramen.
Please clean that first, whatever that is.
Health and safety.
Yeah.
You're the man with the fork, Henry. Good luck.
Yeah. A vase for ramen, nice dude. Anyway, 5 and 4, opening pick this time for Rogue. It was sick that picked up the frag, but Henning, I'd say he ain't done just yet, but he does miss the first shot, and indeed the second. Yell, his partner in crime, holds towards B. He ain't missing just yet. He's going to try and bait in his teammate. As they hold on now for the final B commitment. Got players all around him here. Can he nail that shot? Indeed he can. So much flair to their gameplay. Crystal trying the same maneuver he did before, coming through the connector, but they've got 5 seconds remaining, James. This is looking to be 2-0.
What is going on? This is falling to pieces.
Yeah, it is.
This is falling to pieces. All the nice executes and plays from Rogue have gone, and they're just jiggling. Shaking their thang. Rogue's got spawn for mid, but we haven't really seen much come out of this. That's why he's dropping the bomb. He will be looking for a CT crossing to... No, he's not. He's going somewhere else. Well, normally you'd look for a CT cross to the white box, but again, we haven't really seen those frags come in this particular match, so maybe he won't bother. A big focus on the A side very quickly indeed, and Luminosity seems they were expectant towards mid. They will boost early. I wonder if Steel will try to drop with some cover spray to stop him hearing. Well, there's a fast flanker now. They've got to get their move on. Rogue got to make their play into the A site.
Well then, 4 on 4 still. One more chance here for Rogue. They've been robbed of the last couple of rounds. This is it now. No saving here. The boost will be available for Sick. Really didn't stick the landing, but he gets a frag. Yell answers back with an orb shot there. Ricky's low, and the flames ensue. This is actually back and forth once again, but I think they've done it. Rogue are going to have a round on the board. Lovely shots there from Hiko, and that will be enough to close it out. 2-1 as Luminosity were one of the craziest rounds of Counter-Strike I've ever casted there.
That was very wild indeed.
It was so mad. It was like that was no other way they could have won that unless they started spinning around like turrets, hitting every single shot, and they're both there, ready and waiting.
With Dan holding the ramen, Henry, the temperature has reached boiling point.
It really has.
On Cash.
Finally, after 2 days, the ramen will arrive, and maybe Luminosity will get a win under their belts. One round will do it for match point for them. It's first to 19. 18-18, we do it all over again. So, single orb set up for Rogue. They're going for the shots here towards white box. That'll be Henny. And it doesn't look like there'll be anything there available for him, at least just yet. They can catch them crossing towards white box. It's a very difficult shot, but can happen. Simbri might suggest they'll cross over momentarily. They'll wait for now. We see many teams just holding up very patiently. Esports are doing this earlier. Now, Dan, is that clean?
Why has he done that? Anyway, we'll talk about that after the match. 17-16, and yeah, look at 1.5 set up here on Cash for the CTs because Crystal's in the vent. So we can go towards mid, he can go towards B. He can help in two different places. A wall of smoke perhaps coming from Luminosity in this mid position. Look how much utility Rogue have at this point in the round. There's a minute left and they've got all kinds of grenades. So it may prove difficult for Luminosity to make a play into one of these sites.
Molotov deployed, but Crystal taken down. Remember, one round for Luminosity to get match point once again. Hiko retreats as he waits for his teammates to rotate through. No smoke in CT, so they have got a chance to catch him in transition here. There's no smoke remaining. They're going to have an absolutely difficult time. That Molotov nice and deep, and Steel's going for frags, but they'll actually receive one to the face. As Henny will continue to apply the pain here, but missing shots now. It looks like Rogue have done enough. It's up to Nekis with 20 seconds remaining, and he only has 15 HP. Welcome back, Dan.
This is absolute carnage. 15 seconds on the clock, still doable, but 15 HP. Not going to be an easy one. Pre-firing above the tree, spots Vice on the low ground, going for the bomb plant, it seems.
Fake it.
No more HEs or Molotovs. He goes for the fake, but it won't happen for him. Rogue are there with a two-man. They would have pushed him regardless. And we are at 17-17.
So I'm back. What's the storyline, Beats?
Nothing too interesting. Nothing, no real special rounds or anything. It's pretty normal stuff. Don't know if you heard any of it, but pretty quiet over here.
I saw the Henny AWP action with Yell.
That did happen, yes. That was
pretty cool.
That was okay, yeah.
Double AWPs for Crystal and Rick from Rogue. So, to win this in 2 rounds from one of these two teams. Oh, what are we going to see here? That's very cool. I don't think I've ever really seen teams doing this very much. So that can definitely catch someone. Boosting over the tip of the smoke there. Really nice stuff. You think you're safe as a T, but little do you know, AWP is bearing down on top of you. Either way, nothing will happen. Very passive pace coming in from Luminosity. Very slow indeed. Lots of utility for both teams. Rogue have done well here. They've got almost full utility left still, almost into the 1 minute mark, which is perfect.
Well, we'd like things to be perfect. Smoke's down. Execution now from Luminosity. Might be the full commitment. Got players towards squeaky door, that's Yell. No all from this time, there's AKs across the board. Rogue looking to find match point first now. As we come to the conclusion of the round, it's going back towards B. It's a bit of a fake, a ruse. As Hiko, though, he's aware. He'll drop the smoke and try and get back in towards the side, but it might be a little bit too late. It's caught with a nade out. He will be in a lot of trouble here. Can't really justify going through the smoke, but he can find kills through them as he gets a headshot towards Steel. This is looking incredibly good now, but Henny and Lucas pulling it back.
Very fast-moving run once again. All kinds of bullets and grenades being thrown all over the place. No cover for Lucas in that position, so the post plant isn't great for Luminosity. 2 versus 2 now, and there's a new smoke down on CT, and that's where both the CTs are. Vice, if he tries to prime his own flashbang, he will be heard. But Hiko was covering him with fire, but Vice is still alone now. Spray from him through the smoke, and now Henny's creeping. He's crab walking down the ramp, and somehow Rogue will make it happen.
Wow, that's amazing. That was so back and forth.
It was. It was one of the most chaotic rounds I've seen in a while. Like, it was, everyone was coming from every facet of the map. Kills and grenades all over the place. Smokes, flashes, Molotov, kills through smokes.
Hiko back at it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hiko comes in as well.
We're going for double overtime, Dan. You know what happens at double overtime? Do you know what I have to make me then?
I have to make more ramen.
Hopefully not
Yeah,
ramen.
Can't serve you
Don't make
cold
me any
ramen.
ramen. I'm not eating that.
Why not?
I'll make my own ramen. Just
Will you
wait
though?
until people at home see this crap.
What do you mean? It's
See this crap. Bloody hell.
We've got a big push into the B bomb side. This could be it if Luminosity fail. They have to succeed here. One player at the front, I do believe, and the rest around the back. Nekker's taken down, the rotation coming in from the CTs. A full commitment. So much fire, but not many frags at the moment. The tag, but Crystal's the one to get annihilated. Blind spray with a P90. Can someone tell me what's going on here?
This is absolutely mental as the bomb is denied. 20 seconds now. 3 versus 2. Rogue look like they've done enough here. Ricky might confirm it. Still, he's so far removed from this situation. 10 seconds now. Can't afford to walk, son. You're going to have to get into that bomb site. Oh, it's 1 minute 10. I thought the time was running out. I haven't got my glasses on. That's a shame.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Still in the 1 versus 3. Can he get the 1 versus 1s, though? That is the question.
You definitely need some ramen, don't you?
Sick pretty much guarantees a 2 versus 1. Unless you see the player by the tree. But is he ready? Does he look to his right? Does he look to his left? Even if he's successful, still, you can't use all this time. You've got to find someone. You've got to find that first frag.
It's a really safe position, that first sort of boost as a peak. I say that, but still just nails him. And he can have a go of this, but you can see the time that he plants, they'll move in. Tries to fake it out, 31 seconds. Oh my god, surely not. There's just no way. There is no way he does this. One more player to go. Sick, waiting on top of the box, and it will go to Rogue, 19-17. They're going to pick it up, and Henry G is going to eat some ramen.
There we go.
Keep that well away from my keyboard. Well away from my... Give me my keyboard.
Was this washdown, this bowl?
Is that? I don't know if that's all that important. Let's be honest. I think that your crippling hunger. It's giving it
seem very.
I think you have to wait until the camera's on you. So
There's no way you're putting that in your mouth.
So very back and forth game here. Two teams with, I mean, a lot of different skill sets, but the matchup was really exciting. You know, styles makes fights, as James likes to say. Any performances that stood out for you, Henry?
It has to be double AWP potential, I guess, but at the beginning for Luminosity, the fact that they were just running away with that amazing rounds there. Such an exciting game for me. It might not have been the crucial factor, them getting it so close, but the fact it was just so flamboyant, I think. There's so many crazy moments going on there. But Ricky, towards the end, really turned it up as well. He actually was getting all the impactful kills. And what a game. I really feel exhausted after that. I can't even imagine what the players are feeling. That was a long, chaotic series. We've got another map to go with these boys.
Yeah, the first half of overtime was pretty cool, but it just descended into absolute madness. A blind strafing P90 running between 2 CTs on a bomb site and just trying to plant the bomb. What on earth? What in the blazes was happening? I have no idea. And here are some statistics. Hiko going past that 3,000 damage mark, which is cool when you see it without overtime, but excuse me, there we are. Now, Henry, are you actually going to...
It's not a big moment, someone eating ramen.
To be fair, yes,
he's made it in a... I don't even know what you use this for. That's not a bowl.
That looks like a fruit bowl.
Yeah,
I mean, was it a fruit bowl, to be honest?
Yesterday you were complaining of cold noodles. Today I've brought you hot noodles, Henry. I've listened to your prayers.
All right.
And
I feel like you put a plant in there.
I feel like
trying to grow something out of it.
So what do you think of first of all, the noodle to water ratio? Because that's obviously very important.
Not that good, Dan. They feel very dry in it. They don't feel like they've absorbed all the liquid.
I feel like there's too much water in it.
I eyeballed it. Well, have you ever had a bowl of ramen, James?
Not from you, fortunately.
It's very brothy, isn't it? That is
but not student ramen.
Average level of broth, isn't it?
This is student ramen. Oh, he's actually done it as well.
He's in there. Oh. Here's the verdict. Lovely.
Lovely stuff.
That's
and on
not
that note,
bad.
we're throwing into a break. We'll be back from number 2 very shortly.
You're insane.
So James, just an email from FACEIT.